too, and their demonic behaviours, and the fact that they even unalive their own children, and how Rose is just as bad as Fred, just as bad, if not, could be worse in some cases, especially with the next part I'm about to talk on this. So before Fred had met Rose, he was with someone called Rena Costello, and they lived together in Scotland. And when Fred met Rena, she was already pregnant with her child that was born in 1962-1963. It's going to come up in this article that I'm going to share with you. And yeah, she was pregnant with her daughter Charmaine. Massive trigger warning on this. Fred and Rose were the most notorious killers in Britain over 12 years, from 1967 to 87. The husband and wife committed at least 12 horrifying murders, including torturing, sexually abusing victims before dismembering their bodies. And this is the thing it was known for, burying them in the garden of their Gloucestershire home. Anyway, so going to this part. So talk about how the children witnessed some horrific stuff and went through mental, physical, sexual abuse, all kind of every abuse you can imagine they went through. They were took into custody in February of 1994, and he took his own life before trial in January of 95. But anyway, and these are all the victims, so take a moment for these people and say a prayer for their families, because they're someone's sister, someone's daughter, someone's mother, someone's child, someone's sister, cousin, everything. They were very young girls and they were often runaways. Now these groomers, these groomer types, will often take people in, and vulnerable people, and it makes me sick because some people can't have children. These people had loads of children, and they took in vulnerable people, even Rena Costello being 27, and previously married to Fred, so she was obviously, he liked his younger girls. Charmaine West, born in March 1963, so yeah, it was 62 or 63, was Fred's first wife of Rena Costello, and they married the previous year. Rena was already pregnant, like I said, whose father wasn't in the picture. During her upbringing, Charmaine, as well as her younger sister Anne-Marie, Fred and Rose's first biological child, who was born in 64, was subjected to cruel treatment by Fred, including being caged in a bunk bed and only allowed out when he was at work. Sick people. See, this is when people move through the system, it's very sad. In 65, the family moved to Rena's home city in Glasgow, to Gloucester, closer to Fred's hometown, and where Fred allegedly started to sexually abuse Charmaine. He was also increasingly controlling from abuse to Rena, who eventually escaped, leaving her daughters in Fred's care. See what I mean? Just people, poor people who get slipped through the system, and this is what always happens in these cases. With Rena gone and Charmaine and Anne-Marie spent time with the Gloucestershire Social Service case, but when Fred met Rosemary Letts in 1969, she became the pair's childminder. Although she was caring at first, Rose soon became violent, regularly beating the girls born in December 1970, even 2 months after Rose gave birth to her and Fred's first biological daughter, Heather Ann. Fred was imprisoned for theft. During the time in prison, which lasted until June 71, Charmaine vanished. It's been reported that Charmaine's stoicism in the face of Rose's physical and emotional abuse, her refusal to recognise Rose as her mother, once telling her real mummy wouldn't swear or shout at us, and enraged her stepmother. On one occasion, a neighbour said they saw Charmaine standing naked on a chair, gagged with her bands bound, while Rose stood there with a wooden spoon in her hand. Charmaine was last seen alive in 1971 when Rose took her and assisted Fred in prison. It's unclear when she was exactly killed, but it's believed to be on the day or shortly after. Rose told her daughters Anne-Marie, Heather, and other family friends that Rena had come to collect Charmaine, but Rena herself came looking for her first child, but was eventually murdered by the West. Charmaine's body was discovered at Fred of Rome's home on Midland Road, Gloucestershire. the House of Horrors. It's believed Rose initially kept her remains in the cellar until Fred returned home and could bury her in the garden. How did the Nobis not know this? I really don't understand this, because they're small little houses together. It's two daughters, his biological daughter, Charmaine, 1963 into 1971. Rest in peace, Charmaine. Poor little girl, beautiful little girl, so sad. And then Heather, who is killed also, who is their biological child. Absolutely horrific. And you see these serial killers' children on these programs, and a lot of the time they're nice because they went through such horrific things, but that's not always the case. And let's take a time to remember the victims of this horrific thing. And even Fred and Rose were once victims themselves, until they turned into something horrific and dark and unbelievably sad.